All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to meet everyone here. Thank you so much for being on time. We're going to get started here in the next 60 seconds or so. Give everybody a chance to get on. They're still on time. It's still 8:30. Hey, I think on time is 3 minutes early, 3 to 4 or 5 to 10 minutes early. Okay, but we'll give everybody another 60 seconds before we get started. Guys, grab a pen and paper. All right, I promise you, you're going to want to take some notes. Got a special guest this morning. Every time this gentleman is on the line, he makes us better. So I promise you, you're going to want to take notes. All right. 30 more seconds and we'll get started. All right. 30 more seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thank you all for being on time. Got a few latecomers coming in here. All right. And let's go ahead and get started, guys. I don't normally do this on Zoom, but I feel compelled to do it. The sun is shining. The birds are chirping. Everybody want insurance. Now, y'all can't see the kick. I kicked underneath the counter, but I always laugh due to that kick box. But thank you so much for being on, guys. Hope you had a phenomenal week thus far. Hope you're all on track to hit the goals that you've set for yourself. And again, if you aren't, like I always say, guys, there's still today. You still got tomorrow. There's still plenty of time to hit that goal. So guys, stretch, push yourself, and hit it. Guys, couple housekeeping items before we get started, okay? First off, I want to send a happy birthday shout out to Shyla the Beast. Happy birthday, Shyla the Beast. I think she is 19 years old this morning. Happy shout out to you. Happy birthday shout out to you. Also, in addition, guys, the conference, our regional conference, like we have every year, typically December, we do early December. Well, guys, due to the proximity of the national convention in early January, we've decided to push it up. So October 28th, guys, so we're less than 2.5 months away from this meeting, guys. We want everybody in attendance. Eagle Hunters, we want you in attendance, okay? You guys always add so much value to our meeting. So make sure you're buying your plane ticket. We're gonna have more information coming out shortly. We're gonna be in the beautiful Waterway Marriott, and we're gonna have some block room at some local hotels in the surrounding area to save a bit of money, right? I know the Waterway Marriott can be a little expensive, but guys, start booking those tickets now so that way you have no excuse. You wanna be there. Also, in addition to that, ladies and gentlemen, numbers were sent out for each team on the 15th. So what we typically get net numbers mid-month, and I've sent that to all the managers. Okay, so guys, I want all of you to ask your manager, if you haven't already, hey, what were my net numbers for July? Because obviously, guys, the point of everything is, us to continue is to grow, right? To be more and more profitable as an agent. Now, remember, we have this competition, this head-to-head UFC, or should I say UFE competition, head-to-head competitions going on right now. And you want to look at your growth from January and compare it. What was your growth in July, right? And you want to look at February versus August. And that's how you're going to keep a running tally of your growth percentage, because remember, it is all based on percentage. Guys, we got, let's see here, going head-to-head in some of these competitions. Oh, we got Jacob Prodigy Rios versus Gladiator. Guys, that's going to be an interesting one, right? Any one of these can take this competition. I know they got, some money, cold hard cash on the line. We got the Stacy Tanksley, Queen of Sheba versus Go Getter. Queen of Sheba, she started recruiting. Go Getter, you better come on, girl. Queen of Sheba want that money, $1,000 up for grab. We got the legend Mike Raven going head to head against DJ Drama. Going to be another interesting competition. Not DJ Drama, formerly DJ Drama, DJ Hemi. Let me get that right. We got Mark Bruce, Batman, going head to head against Derek, the Loch Ness Monster. We got, let's see here, Slayer going head to head against Slim Fingers. We're going to see who's going to win now. We got, look, the Battle of Lafayette, right? The Guillotine going head to head against Best Dress, Joshua Thomas. And we got Picasso, Art Thomas going head to head. Is Art and Josh related? I don't know. They might be. Who knows? But they're going head to head against Miami Vice, Justin Rio. So excited to see that matchup as well, guys. So take this serious. Let's really, really compete. All right. All right, now, last thing, guys, exciting announcement. You guys ready for this? I brought it up briefly yesterday. Well, guys, the new 300 website is up and running. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into creating this thing, not to mention money. And shout out to my beautiful, beautiful wife who was instrumental in getting this thing to the finish line. So shout out to her as well. Guys, and now listen, I want to bring on Best Dress. I let some of the managers take a look at it on yesterday. And, I mean, Best Dress looked through it pretty thoroughly. And he was excited about all these things. So Best Dress, are you on the line, sir?
Yes, sir. You got me loud and clear, Brian?
I got you loud and clear. I love that background, by the way. Is that a Van Gogh?
Yeah. It's actually my office, man. My wife is interior decorator, so she did a great job.
All right. Plug to the wife. All right. Plug to the wife. Let's go. Man, speak to me
Brian,
about the website, man. What'd you get?
I'm excited, man. Brian, this has been a long time coming. Honestly, man, we've heard since we were children that knowledge is power, right? And in this business, first you learn, and then you take away the L, and then you earn, right? So for a lot of times when people are coming on, there could be an intimidation because there's so many companies and there's so many moving pieces. Brian, I gotta give you and Regine a huge shout out for this website because we've always had tons of information via Dropbox, but it wasn't necessarily in chronological order. Dude, Brian, when I tell you I was going through this website, I was texting you at 5 o'clock this morning, 5:45 this morning. I'm texting Brian because I'm going through it piece by piece, y'all. And guys, when I tell you it is all there. From the bill charts, right? Things that you might have to call and get underwriting assessments. They've got the underwriting cheat sheets. You've got every carrier, guys, every final expense product that we have. You can literally go to a page and you can click on it and it'll have the products at a glance. You can log in, guys, from the landing page. You can log into each individual carrier website. So whenever, like for instance, for managers, whenever we're onboarding somebody and we're saying, look, you go to Transamerica, you go to ani.transamerica.com or Americo.com and so on and so forth, it puts all the information in there. So when I tell you I got so excited, Brian, because I was thinking about all the time, really what this does, it saves us, but it makes us more efficient as managers. It makes us more efficient as brokers, man. Shout out to you guys. And look, for all my crew that's coming to training on Monday, you know that's what we're going over. So we'll be going step by step. And I know a lot of the managers are going to be teaching on this and kind of breaking it down piece by piece, Brian.
Absolutely, guys. This website is a game changer if you use it right. By the way, Josh, I'm liking those grades, man. I got the grades coming in. Yeah. Remember when we first started, we didn't have these, man. It was all black 10 years ago. But it fits you, man. It fits you. Well, guys, absolutely. And we're going to send out the information for everybody to get logged in today. So we want everybody to log in, create their username, password, and start really going through this website. I promise you, you're going to love it. Okay. Like I said, money, time, it was a labor of love, literally. All right. So without further ado, guys, do you know one last housekeeping items, but it's going to segue into my special guest, October 30th. October 30th, I'm going to repeat it. Boom. October 30th, we have a Zoom opportunity meeting with one of the best in the country. My friend, my mentor, Mr. Pastor Keith Thomason is going to be in the building. So guys, if you are interested in growing, if you are interested in truly building an agency and getting rich in this business, you want to plug in everyone you know, your warm market, your cold market, your money market, plug in everybody you know into this Zoom call with Pastor Keith Thomason on the 30th. Pastor Keith, are you on the line this morning, sir?
100%. I just got to say, you guys have the coolest nicknames. Who is the bestower of nicknames. Is that you?
I've been known to give a nickname or two, man.
Those nicknames are sick. I thought I'd give, Craig gives me a hard time. He says I give the worst nicknames, and sometimes I do. But every one of your nicknames are so on point, man. It's unbelievable.
Call me, man. I'll hook you up with some nicknames, bro. At a
I
small
like-
fee, of course, small fee.
Little Hands, Picasso. I mean, that's crazy.
Little Hands. I don't know if I gave a Little Hand nickname, but Picasso, yes. But my man, brother, speak to us October 30th, man. Why should people get people on that Zoom, and what should they expect on the 30th, man?
We've been doing this once, minimum of 1 to 2 times a week for months now. And I think I'm not going to say perfect, I'm going to say I've honed an elevator speech. I'll put it into perspective. I call this a level 10 opportunity because I believe it's a level 10 opportunity. But oftentimes people that you're talking to, they don't understand what a level 10 opportunity is. And so I compare it and contrast it to what the alternative is. The average American will have 12 careers over the course of a lifetime. Think about that, 12. So that's on average every 4.3 years, you're looking for a new horse to ride, a new place to park your car, a new boss, a new product, a new commodity. All for what reason? To make more money. Because every place you are at, when you go there, you're convinced it's going to be the one. There's not a glass ceiling here I can break through. There's opportunity for management, et cetera. The whole promises that are out there. And the people we're talking to, they mostly come from W-2 positions. So they're always chasing that elusive gold ring, if you will. But when they get there, they discover it's just like the last place, just a different address, different product, different management team, different bosses, different quotas. And so now they're jumping ship looking for something else. Well, that cycle is continuous. Now, some people say, well, you don't know me, Keith. I'm an outlier. I excel at everything I do. Well, I like to say that Vegas is excited about your coming. Because that's where they make their money. You got to play the averages. If the average person is going through 12 careers only to reach retirement with little to no retirement dollars, living on Social Security, downsizing because they can't afford to sustain their existing lifestyle, then why will we not wake up? Contrast this opportunity, a level 10 opportunity, checks all the boxes, it beats inflation, it beats recession, it beats pandemic. And there really is no cap. Where can you go realistically and know for a fact that you can make as much money as you want to? Most careers, most jobs, you can look at how much money is potentially possible for you by looking at your boss. And if they're not making the amount of money you want, then why are you investing your time? So this is the type of thing I'll be talking about. And I think if you come in and take notes, you can just dupe it. And it's a great elevator speech. It gives you a chance to speak intelligently and thoughtfully to people that are looking for jobs, looking for career. A salary or hourly wage. If that be the case, they're backing up because their increases will not keep up with inflation. Since 2011, the inflationary rate has gone from 3.2 to 4.5 in 2021, and this year is just under 9%. So, and the average increase is 3 to 3.5%. So you're going backwards. So I'm going to give you some ammunition, some bullet points, some talking points that you can craft a speech and really be compelling. That's one reason you want to build this phone call, I think. Second reason is this. Only thing I know to do is hire. So you put them on the phone call, they're getting in.
I believe it. You might make me sign up twice, Pastor Keith. Who knows? Man, listen. Oh, by the way, I got a text message. Happy birthday, Adonis Durden, Dirty 30, the Dirty South champ. All right. So happy birthday goes out to Adonis. So back to you, Mr. Keith. So, brother, you told me you had something on your heart. We're in the midst of growth, right? We're growing. Yeah. This company. We've grown year after year after year. And, like the great John Maxwell always says that, it's all about leadership. Everything rises and falls on leadership. So if your team is growing, it's about leadership. If your team isn't growing, then it's about leadership. So speak to that, man. Speak your heart and make us better.
Shout out to Lawhead. He's offered me a nickname. I'm not sure I'm going to accept it. I think it was the Silver Fox. I'm not sure I want that one. I'll bypass on that, but I'll keep the advantage, bro. people come to us, and once they learn this trade and develop the necessary skills to be successful, they rise to their level of expectations. I like to say people make $50,000 a year because they know how to make $50,000 a year. Folk make $100,000 a year because they know how to make $100,000 a year. People that make $50,000 don't know how to make $100,000. If they did, they would do it. So here they come expecting to make as much or a little bit more than they made previously. So they develop the skills, they put the work ethic in, and they hit that amount of money. And once they hit that amount of money, it's so easy to become complacent because you're making more money than you've ever made before. How many times have you heard people say that? Dude, I'm making more money I've ever made before. And they slack off because month 3, your skill set has developed to the point the amount of money that it took you to work the first week, 8 hours, you can now make it 40. And if you stay here long enough, you can make that amount of money in 20 hours. And what happens is this: people tap the brakes because they rise to their level of expectation. If they're expecting and they're looking and their goal is to make, say, 50 or 60 or 80 or whatever it is, okay, and they reach that level, then they diminish their efforts. And that's when trouble sets in because chargebacks hit, challenges hit. You might start trying to hire and you have some stumbling blocks. You might have a few roll-ups, and those struggles equal doubts. See, we don't think in terms of, hey, look, this struggle is just the universe beckoning me to grow beyond my current level of potentiality and knowledge to the next level. We don't think that way. We just say, dang, man, this thing, I'm not sure it's for me. Maybe this thing is not as good as I thought it was. And that doubt gives you pause, and that pause will stagnate you because now you start second guessing. And then you start saying, I'm not sure this opportunity is really as great as I once thought it was. I'm not sure that people can, or man, it's so freaking hard. I'm reluctant to invite one of my warm market people. I'm reluctant to speak to that guy that looks sharp as crap, even though he says he's looking, because I'm not sure he is willing to pay the price that I paid. And how do I know this? Because I've done it. I know the sweat, the equity, the struggle, the challenge I've gone through. And even I sometimes prejudge people, say, you know what? I'm not sure they had the fortitude to go through the Shiite that I've gone through and persevere. And you stop short of giving that person opportunity. So that's the stagnation. So what I want to say this morning is this: you've got to embrace the pain. You got to realize that the pain is a glorious thing. A pain is a blessing from God. A pain is the universe giving you a chance to prove your worth. Success at this level, 6 figures, strong 6 figures, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. Look, it's not a birthright. You have to earn it. By earn it, I mean this: you have to pay full price, and the universe requires full payment. You don't make the money and then you prove yourself. No, the universe creates stumbling blocks. You can call it God, you can call it karma, you can call it universe, you can call it energy, you can call it anything you want. Whatever language you embrace, whatever terminology you can sink your teeth into, just trust me when I say it's universal principle. It's going to challenge you because that challenge causes you to grow from the inside out. Tony says your income will never exceed your personal development, and that's exactly what the universe is requiring of you. So how do you get there? One is your mindset. I've been recently listening to Vishaan Lakhiani. I think I may have mastered that last name, but let me spell it for you. It's Vishaan, Vishen, last name Lakhiani. And he's a proponent of the Silva mind control method. And it all has its roots in meditation. So I'm not going to go off all spiritual you this morning, but I do want to put it in perspective. For years now, I've been admonishing my guys to make sure that they write the first paragraph on the first page on the chapter of their life, because we're writing a book. Every one of this phone call, you're writing a book. Your life is a freaking book. And at the end of your life, when you're on that bed and you're facing that moment, trust me when I say this: I've been a minister for many years, and I've never, ever sat with someone who was at the end that didn't have the questions. Every single person, including my father, when I was there with him as he was drawing nigh, reflected on their life. What did I do? What was my accomplishments? Was it worth it? Did I make a difference? Everyone When you're at the end of a sentence and there's about to be a period placed, you look back on the sentence that was written and you question and you evaluate your self-worth. So make no mistake, you're writing a book. Your book is being penned. And if you know that, you must realize that every day is either a page or a chapter in that book. And if you do not open that paragraph, because that paragraph, the first opening paragraph is the thesis for that chapter. That paragraph, the first 3 or 4 sentences, sets the tone for the rest of that chapter. And when you wake up in the morning, if you don't write the first sentence, trust me when I say someone else will. And when someone else writes that first sentence on that first page of the chapter of that day, then you're going to live out that day. Some people call it routines, some people call it ritual. Whether you realize it or not, everyone has a ritual. They do it 90% of the time, every day. Some folks, they just wake up and whatever happens, they just happen. I'm going with the flow. I'm going to take it as it comes, which when you take it as it comes, trust me, someone else is writing your page. Someone else is writing your book. You're not in charge of your book, and you're not going to like the outcome. But when you get up in the morning, you have your ritual that's going to determine your destiny. One of those rituals is filling your mind with something that's more positive than the negative, because the world is constantly feeding negative. Music is negative, news is negative, people are negative. So you've got this balance going on in your life. You got negative and you got to counterbalance with the positive. So you're feeding your mind either podcasts, books, YouTube, people, whatever the case may be, but you got to, the positive must outweigh the negative. What you're actually doing is this. Now you think, oh, I'm just feeding my mind. I'm just trying to grow. I'm trying to think creative, etc. That's one aspect of it. But what you're really doing is you're placing yourself in an altered state. Because when you plug in those earphones and you begin to listen or you begin to read, you're transported. When I was a kid, you would have these cartoon programs that would try to inspire children to read. And the analogy they would use or the illustration they would use is that you're transported to another place. If you're reading about another country, in your mind's eye, you're transported to that location. If you're reading about a thing, you're transported to that particular thing. And that's what happens. You actually put yourself in an altered state. That altered state disengages the state that you naturally live in which the world is constantly chirping in your ear, beckoning you to follow. You put that on pause and you enter into an alternate state. And that alternate state, it puts you in touch with your spirit, with your soul, with the universe, with God, whatever adjective you want to use to describe it. But man, you're pausing this and now you're entering into that world of imagination. And trust me when I say this, that's where God speaks. That's where the universe speaks. That's where spirit speaks, is your imagination. I've had people ask me over my lifetime, how do you know when God is talking to you? How do you know it's the universe beckoning to you? It's in your imagination. It's in your imaginative eye. When you're driving your car and you're disengaged and you're in that moment of twilight, if you will, and you begin to imagine what could be, how it could be. That is that altered state. And that's where reality is created. And people that don't seize the very first part of their morning miss out on that. Because when you engage yourself in that altered state, you now become in tune with what your purpose is, your cause is. See, people say, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what my cause is. And then they say, I figured it out. No, you didn't just figure it out. It's been there all along. The universe didn't just wake up yesterday and say, you know what, you're designed for this. You have this purpose, your cause, this skill, this ability, and I want you to do this. They didn't just figure that thing out. It was that was determined before you were even thought about. We're just going to walk in the reality of it once we place ourselves in a state of mind, a state of spirit, a state of consciousness to hear it. It's there in every one of us. So you disengage, you enter, and then you're able to hear, you're able to see, you're able to listen. And dude, when that becomes powerful in your mind, you will live it out every single day. Second thing I would say is this. In this opportunity, I encourage my guys, don't wake up in the morning and think, I'm going to go sell some insurance today. I'm going to go make a sale. Because that puts an enormous amount of pressure on yourself. Rather think, I'm going to go out and meet some folk today. I'm going to bring some smile to people's faces. and I'm going to have some freaking fun. Think about it. We meet some hilarious people. I rode out with my youngest son, Luke, the other day, and honest to God, we knocked on the door. Great man, let us in, and I sit down. I'm looking at this kitchen. His kitchen has every piece of lawn equipment you can imagine. It's got weed eaters. It's got blowers. It's got a lawn. One thing. What the hell, dude? That his kitchen is his garage. I mean, I can see him frying up some bacon, cooking some eggs right beside the weed eater there. Gas smell the whole night. Well, you meet some. Conversely, later that evening, the last door we knocked was on a house. They had that black film on it. You know what I mean? You can't see through. You're not sure if they're looking at you. You know, they're looking, but you can't see. But I can hear the music. And a lady just burst open the door with this great big old smile. Such a sweet-hearted individual. Two of her sons were in the military. Her husband had an incredible speech, challenge to communicate, but was a genuine soul. Man, I connect with those folks. I really enjoyed being with them. And that translates, and it's going to connect, which will allow you to make sales. So that is what will come out of that meditative state, that altered, that alternate state, if you will, of mind. You will now be set on edge to fulfill your destiny. Your success has already been determined. It's already out there. I don't think folk are designed to fail. We fail when we don't take charge of it and put ourselves in a position to hear it. Once you begin to hear it, once you begin to see it in your imagination, it becomes clearer and clearer and clearer. Everyone that you listen to, whether it's Tony Robbins, whether it's Maxwell, you name them, they talk about focus. Your focus is the key, but your feelings determine your focus. You're not going to, by the power of your mind, make yourself feel something or focus. I think that's ass backwards. I used to think that all the time, but now I've changed. You wake up some days, you just feel a certain way. Well, if you can alter your feelings, you can then control your focus. You control your focus, you're going to control your fate. So my word for this morning is this. Let's get in that altered state. Let's design a ritual. Now, can you do it overnight? No, it takes time to get that ritual. That ritual will be established over 2, 3, 4 months. The first part of it, everything in the world will challenge you. Your wife is going to get in the way. Trust me, if you have a spouse, I guarantee, whether it's a male or female, they're going to get in the way because they're not where you are in their head. They're not listening to what you're listening to. They don't see what you see. They see it when they arrive. My wife is a perfect example. She could not see where we're going until we arrived. And even now, she doesn't see where we're going. She just sees where we are. So just understand that from the get-go. Your kids, they don't get it. So if you think they're going to get it before they get there, they're not. You have to take charge of your chapter and be determined that you're going to write your chapter. And then once they get there, they're going to be very appreciative. So you got to pay the price. That means you may have to face the heat. But if you write on your page first thing in the morning, you're going to live it out. That's what I got for you, brother.
So let me come in on you, man. I was reading something, Keith, about some of the most successful people in the world, right? In America throughout history. And one of the things they said, so guys, pay close attention to that. These individuals all have morning rituals, right? Some of them, they get up and they read. Some will meditate, right? Some people will exercise. There's morning rituals that they do every single morning. Now, if all of these people are doing it who are extremely successful, then you know what? There may be something to it, right? So I want you guys to really pay attention to that. And if you're just waking up in the morning, and if I ask you, what is your ritual in the morning? And you can't answer that while I roll out of bed, well, then it is more likely that you will not, you will not reach your potential, because we all have potential, but whether you reach it and tap into it, it's really what's key. Now, I want to ask you this question, Pastor Keith. For us to get into this altered state of mind, and I know what you're talking about because I go into it often, where I'm somewhere, but you know what? I'm in a whole nother place in my mind, man. I'm a dreamer. I've always been a dreamer. But one of the things that will keep you from dreaming is distractions, right? You know, I mean, there's so many distractions. Facebook, whether you know it or not, it's keeping you from that altered state. You know, I mean, MySpace, you know, all these social media, the television. You might want to watch all, you know, 45 seasons of Law and Order, but it's keeping you from that altered state that Pastor Keith is speaking of. So speak to these distractions, man, and how do you avoid them?
The clearer your goal, the clearer your desire, it will prioritize your life. The purpose of that morning routine and that altered state is because it's painting a picture and it is becoming more and more vibrant every single day. And when it becomes so vibrant that it's technicolor, that you think about it throughout that day, because whatever you plant the first thing in the morning, you're going to think about it throughout the day. And the more you think about it, the more real it becomes. So eventually you're actually living in the reality of it, even though it hasn't materialized. Actually experiencing the joy of the journey. You're experiencing the joy of the reality of it before it manifests yourself. And if that be the case, that's going to prioritize your life, because you want that more than you want something else. That's how you prioritize. When people say, I'm just going to make a list and I'm going to prioritize my day, no, you're going to do what you think about most. That's the bottom line. Whatever you're focused on is where whatever you we see these videos, these hilarious videos, you know, the guy's driving the motorcycle and you see the pole in the distance and you know he's going to hit it and he steers right into it. When my oldest daughter, Ashton, was small, she was learning to ride the bicycle, and her sibling was right in front of her. And I turned her loose, and all she could say is, "Get out of the way, Heather, get out of the way, Heather." And there's the whole road there. But all she was looking at was Heather, and I'd be dang if she didn't run right into a knocker and run over her. It's the same thing. So your morning routine, that altered state, gets you thinking of the direction you should be in, and you refuel it every single day. You become obsessed with it. That's going to eliminate distractions. When you want whatever you're going for, if it's the promotion, if it's the hire, if it's the goal, it's going to take precedent over everything else, whether it's extracurricular activities, whether it's dinner with the family, whether it's golf, whether it's whatever it is, you know. You hear Jordan talk about it, you hear others talk about it, they put everything on hold. They didn't sacrifice, it wasn't even a sacrifice, because they wanted this more than they wanted that. So it wasn't even it didn't feel like a sacrifice at the time, and I can relate to that. All I wanted was what I was pursuing. So everything else was so far distant second, it was like I wasn't missing anything. But it begins with that meditative, imaginative state of mind.
And Keith, one of the things I've found that's helped me, I have a dream board, man. You know, if you come in my bathroom, right on the mirror, half of my mirror is a dream board, right? And I've been doing them every year. And it's sometimes you can lose focus, you know, but if you keep it in front of you, you know, on a daily basis, something that you can see, guys, that'll allow you to continue to focus on it and become obsessed with it, so to speak, like Pastor Keith said. Keith, I know you're like me. I dream about door knocking. I dream about doing interviews. You know, I dream about, you know, these different things in the business, like legit. I'm having dreams about this stuff. That's because I'm so focused on it. And I know you're the same. And everybody here who succeeded at a high level knows exactly what I'm saying. But you don't get to that point unless you're obsessed. You don't get to that point unless you're focused. You don't get to that unless you learn to avoid distractions to some degree. You know, so man, phenomenal job as always, guys. And Pastor Keith, thank you so much for being on. Yeah,
got two more points for you. I had Laura Muse on our phone call this morning. We're doing this series like you're doing for the summer, the balance of the summer. And I asked her, I says, how do you get people to trust you? Because the key is this. Obviously, what we're trying to do is coach people. We're trying to lead them in a direction that we know will unlock their potential. It will help them create that new reality that they long for. She says, people only hear what they're able to hear, which we know that to be true. People can hear where they are. They hear what they can hear. So how do you lead them? Well, you got to listen to them. Oprah Winfrey says, people will tell you who they are, but we just don't believe them. So by you asking questions, people will tell you where they are in that journey process. And then you speak to them where they are, not where you want them to be. You speak to them where you want them to be. They can't hear it because they're not there yet. But if you listen to them, you speak to them where they are, and then inch by inch, you move them along the process because they'll grow in that direction. Embrace the pain. I enjoyed spending time with you guys.
100% embrace the pain, y'all. Words of wisdom. Keith, thank you so much for being on, man. You always come on, make us better. Appreciate you so much. Can you do something with that pool table? Or is that just decoration? Like mine?
Dude, I can roll them.
You can roll them. Okay. All right. Mine is decoration. It's gathering dust. All right. Well, man, appreciate you again, guys. Listen, hey, Friday left, Saturday left. Again, push for your goal. Hit your goal. 2 days left. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do today. Not only will we give the $10 bonus for every e-app that you write today. All right. We're going to do $100 cash bonus to the top writer today. Who wants it? Who wants it? Also, let me see here. Somebody asked when is national conference. National conference. So our regional conference, guys, again, October 28th. National is going to be January 12th through the 14th in Athens, Georgia, January 12th through the 14th. But before that, all right, we want everybody there, of course. It's going to be amazing. But before that, we want you here October 28th. Keith, are you going to be in the building October 28th? I heard something that you may be here. Is that right?
Sounds like it.
Sounds like it. All right.
I'm anticipating it. We have a few agents down there in the Houston area, so we definitely want to plug into your group. You guys are pulling us, expanding us. The people that came to y'all's event, I just want to give you a shout out. They were so overwhelmed. They were just they were so fired up when they left. They said they got some dynamite stuff happening. They were energized. They were refocused. So I want to say thank you for that, and I appreciate you letting us plug in.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you guys coming through. Well, guys, it is 9:06. Thank you so much for being on. Love you guys. I appreciate each one of you. Let's go out and have a big day. Ow!